You're just not given enough time.
No, I think that's one of the biggest challenges. You have so many people involved, client side, that they hire that almost manage us setting the deadlines and keeping the client at arm's length from us. And it's the biggest challenge because we can dive into the branding as much as we possibly can from the material that they portray, whether they use social media, their websites, and just anything we can get our hands on, or knowing typically how that sort of industry works. But the most valuable thing is speaking to the client and developing it with them and asking really key fundamental questions, because it's like if I was to look at your Instagram and then someone says you need to design your house based off of your Instagram, but I've never spoken to you. I can travel through years and years and think I understand you based off of your Instagram, but then I can speak to you, but your lifestyle's changed. Some of the stuff I've seen or the styles that you've worn, and do you know what I mean? It's a bit like that. And as well, branding that companies put out is for a client. I don't get a huge insight to how they actually work day to day, and that's where the problem solving is. And if I'm not made aware of what those problems are and working off of assumptions, I miss it completely because I'm not aware of their problems.
Welcome to Space by Stanton's. Today I'm chatting to Abby Reynolds, project designer at Modus. Recently-ish, isn't it?
Yeah, quite recently. I'm about 4 months in.
Wicked.
Yeah.
But you was at 2 before anyway, so it's kind of...
Yeah, so I was part of the group before, came out for a little bit, still stuck in D&B.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was nice and familiar to go back in.
Yeah.
When I first started, I was like, I might have like a week or two of, finding my feet and things like that. And it was the opposite. It was like, okay, you've got this induction, but actually you can't go. You're coming straight into this project meeting, that project meeting. So yeah, my ease into it.
Oh.
But they were like, the business, let's just get going. So
That suit you there?
Yeah, I had no time to get bored or twiddle my thumbs and things like that. Yeah,
stuff.
And the inductions I've all done before anyway.
Yeah, pretty much the same. This is the fire
Exactly.
exit.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
This is how you turn your laptop on.
Oh, wicked. Cool. I'm going to ask you some random questions.
Okay.
Just to get to know you. What's
Quick
your favourite
fire.
colour? Yeah.
Favourite colour, green.
Oh, well done. Favourite coffee?
Flat white.
Where do you get breakfast?
In the office.
And what's your favourite pet?
Cat.
Have you got one?
I have 2.
What colour?
My older one is Ginger. Yeah. And then I've got a little one that's a Bengal. But she's a different, usually the colouring is quite dark. She's like a white Bengal.
Yeah. And are you a Steve holiday or a beach holiday?
Depends on the time of year. If I can mix the both, perfect. If not, beach.
Favourite emoji? Probably
just a laughing one.
And who's the last person you rang?
My mum, yesterday.
Wicked.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Oh, that's fun. We just started doing it in the office, like these quick fire questions. I thought I'm going to just start asking people on the podcast.
I like that.
Yeah, it's fun. So rolling straight in, I'm going to ask you about 3 projects.
Okay.
First one being an early memory, like something that you did. What is something that you did early days that like kind of changed your career or changed how you thought?
Oh, I think
made you realize you want to do this?
So it was just as I was coming out of uni. Mm-hmm. I'd been working in architecture practice throughout university, just like an internship 1 day a week.
Yeah.
In the last year of that, I'd done their office refit for them.
Okay.
And then off the back of that, at uni, we would do our crits and they would bring external people in. And one of the people that came in, we got along well. He liked my work. And then come at end of graduating, he just sent a message saying, I've got some work. Do you want to freelance with me? So I was like, yes, definitely. Very reputable architect, worked at great practices. And then we done some workplace design strategies together. Mm-hmm. And I learned so much from him off of his background, albeit he'd only done one workplace project. It was a 4-year-long one, huge client. Oh, wow. And they'd really gone into the intricacies of materiality, collaboration, effective spaces, and like a whole new working concept.
Can you say the client?
It was for Google.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah,
cool.
well, his was for Google, and then we done small workplace strategies for other ones. Yeah, take it to stage 2, stage 3. And it was up to them if they wanted to do anything with it. Yeah.
Wow. So is that a bit scary when that person comes in?
Awful.
What?
They could absolutely awful, but I think it does well for your career. Because
Okay.
you go, it starts from first year and you pin up all your work onto a board. You do them every 2 weeks. And they're called critiques. We would always rename them as criticism. And you go up and you present it and they absolutely rip it apart and you keep composure. You go home, you need to redo the last 2 weeks of work,
Do you
plus
cry?
progress it. I don't think I did, but I probably really wanted to. Yeah, so you look up,
Yeah, no.
eyes dry out. But then as it goes on, you get used to it. And I think the biggest skill is you learn not to take it personally because it isn't personal. And I think that helps in your career because you're constantly getting feedback from peers or people you work with, clients, and you all have the same goal. So you just work together and it's not personal.
It's a really good lesson, actually, Abby.
Yeah.
I think I've never experienced that, but I think I've benefited from experiencing that. Like just having someone like critiquing your work, it's not personal, like just get over it.
Yeah. I think as well, it teaches you to start to think critically about yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of people, especially in a creative industry, are probably perfectionists, but you can so quickly become so like fixated that you're going for one thing, that if you don't just step back, look at it holistically and other aspects, that's when your design can really develop. But when you have all of those voices in your head, it forces you to step back and think, right, why are we doing this? Does it make sense? How can we develop from this? Why haven't we thought about that? It's all part of the creative process, but I think it helps when I've got so many different influences in my head as well.
I do think that's really mature, though. Like, I think that's something that some people never learn or take a long time to learn.
Yeah.
Like, to be able to accept criticism. Like, yeah, I'm just quite a big believer in it. So I like that you picked that up. What did you learn from him?
What did I... Oh,
did he-
so many things. One thing I have always struggled with is how to present things on a page. I know the process. I can speak through the process very clearly, but it's what to have on the screen behind me. And then more importantly, how to lay it out. His layouts and how we developed everything there. I learned a lot through that, just appreciating white space, all those simple things. But that's something that doesn't come naturally to me. I mean,
Also,
luckily,
graphic design, like presentation design.
yeah, but we have graphic designers, so I don't have to worry too much about that now. But I still think about it a lot. Yeah, I know that's an area that I've struggled with. Yeah, that was one really big thing. Just telling the story, leading the client through the story, and knowing that although we do it day in and day out, you're often presenting to people that don't. So you need to strip it straight back, almost like layman's terms, make it super easy, clear, but bring them on the journey so they get excited and they understand why you've made these decisions. The more invested you can get them in your decisions, the more successful it will be.
I love that. How do you get people excited about your decisions, though? Like, what do you do, like, actually?
I think the biggest thing is telling them the challenges and what's been hard and what you try to do to solve that challenge, and then how you've created how you solve the problem. And I think that is when they're like, because as you're explaining it, they'll be thinking, oh, yeah, I hadn't thought about that. That is a big challenge. And they're trying to come up with the solution, but you're speaking them through your narrative. So at the end, they're like, oh, of course, that makes so much sense. Rather than if I just say, oh, we've done this because of this, it's not as impactful. It doesn't sell them. It doesn't get them on board. I mean, it can sometimes, but yeah, it's all about the storytelling.
That's really good. I like the idea of presenting the challenge before, so then they can like almost feel the pain before you give them the solution.
Yeah.
I think they're going to take that.
What I went through.
Yeah.
It's a bit of trauma dumping.
Yeah. You've only got it for a minute. I had it for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, how long do you have a pitch for before it does? Like from
Oh,
how long do you
it
have?
varies from project to project, but it's a very short time frame. It will be the tender will come in, you do the mid bid, and then you go to pitch. That process, anything from shortest is probably 2 weeks. The longest I've had is probably 2 months. Yeah, it's challenging because if you're trying to go through the creative process, turning things around that quick, like what I said about stepping back, it becomes much harder because you have a to-do list of everything you need to get done. And it's almost like it can be, yeah, that's the most challenging part.
One day, quite soon, probably, you're going to be a design director. Got manifest, haven't you? Put it out in the
Hire me.
Put it out in the universe.
Yeah, exactly.
See what happens.
Affirmations.
Yeah, totally. What's the one thing you're going to do with your team and your like designers and junior designers that you learned from this guy?
Study research papers, definitely. Okay. I think creative thinking, you can learn so much from someone else's research, new ideas, and you can absorb it how you want to. I think another thing is traveling. I don't think so much of just traveling to a random city in Europe. I think it needs to be very considered and with a goal. I think a great place to start is the Biennale, whether you go for the art year or the architecture year, just to be immersed in creativity. I don't think creativity, just because you work in design or architecture, is just looking at a building. It can be looking at light, art, concepts, and all the different creative fields, fashion. It can all feed into more ideas, textiles, materials, sustainability, things like that.
Where do you get your inspiration from? You're proud of a few things then.
Where do I get? I think I try as hard as I can. It's really easy to get fixated on just get up, go to work, go home, do a bit of exercise, have dinner. I purposely try to slow down and just look around, like look for those things that, it's so cliche, like spark joy.
I love that person.
Yeah.
I'm totally into that person, whatever her name is.
Marie
Kondo.
Yes.
I'm so obsessed.
Yeah, me too. I think I binge watched that Netflix show in record timing. But it's just appreciating life.
Yeah,
and
it is.
Yeah, you can draw inspiration from those things. So I'd say day to day, that's the biggest thing, definitely.
Yeah, no, that's cool. So what are you working on now, or just finished, or just about to start? That's really exciting.
Working on so many different ones.
How many are you working on at once?
I think I'm on about 5 at the moment. They're all at different stages. More of them are like pitch, mid-tender stage. I have 2 that are going to site very soon. So I'll probably talk about one going to site quite soon. It's an incredible building, 40 Leadenhall.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, absolutely. It's stunning. And I got brought onto the project quite late. It was all designed by BDG. So quite often we'll take things from stage 3, stage 4. That does mean that some design work or enhancements or development is required. We have a separate part of the business that does the more technical construction stuff and brings it to life. But when they needed design to help enhance, I was lucky enough that I got put onto the project. So I got to cut out all of the really hard bits and enhance key areas like the auditorium, the reception desk, the pre-function bar area. So that was a great one because I got to look at materiality and really take inspiration from the building that is already there, the reception area, and just keep it carrying on through. So, and I've not done an auditorium before.
I was going to say, what have we done in an auditorium?
What have I done?
Yeah, what did you do in the auditorium?
So a lot of it was designed out. So all the seating was designed out, and the seating joinery is incredible. The joiners doing it are really talented, but that is what we wanted to be the main focus. And it's very sleek, and it's that understated luxury. So it was everything else needed to match the quality, but not overshadow these benches.
Okay, yeah.
And then the challenge is the ceiling height was standard, 275i, but for an auditorium, it's very small. So it was all, I focused on enhancing the walls to bring in some more texture, lighting, and things just to make it feel taller and more grand. And that was a really fun process to go through. Yeah, we're still developing it a little bit there, but it's just the fine details now.
What are you going to do to make it look taller?
So it's timber panels wrapped around the whole auditorium. And then they have breaks where it flutes. So it flutes thick at the bottom and tapers really thin at the top. And then the next one will be thick at the top, taper at the bottom. And then there's tactical lighting to highlight that, just to create some more depth and interest. And then no skirting board. All of the timber is the same from the floors to the benches to the walls. So it's a really calming space.
I'd like to see it.
Yeah, it's going to look good. Yeah, it looks great fully lit. And then in presentation mode, when it's just the walls lit up, that looks, yeah.
And you've got the vertical lines. That
Yes, yeah. So that helps obviously make it feel longer.
And grand.
Yeah.
Sounds amazing.
Yeah.
And what did you do in reception?
Reception, the actual form of the desk was decided and the shape. It was changing the materiality. So at the back we had like a concrete curtain almost. Mm-hmm. And it was complementing that. All of the timber panels in that area are black ash. Mm-hmm. And it was really, the desk spec was white stone with a curve. White stone with a curve is an incredible amount of waste, hard to manufacture, and environmentally probably doesn't sit right with a lot of people and even the client as well. Mm-hmm. So we just changed out the materiality. We've brought through the black timber, done just a black stone top, but it's very sleek. They're going to just work off iPads. So in terms of all the bits that people don't love, with like power, it's got minimal, or it's actually got no power to the reception desk. There's just a credenza behind. It's all hidden power. So it's very sleek, and it's almost like that whole project is, you know, when you open a product from Apple, it's like that. It's really
like darker.
Yeah, but darker, elevated, easy, very clean, very sophisticated. Yeah, that's a nice one.
Yeah, that's quite a cool thing, isn't it? If this project was a product, what would it be? It would be like the Vision Pros, like that. And yeah, so what's the weirdest material you work with?
Weirdest material I've worked with? Oh, that's a great question. Maybe something when I was back in architecture, when I was working in a development consultancy, and we were doing the remediation, well, anything from water ingress and things like that. But the main one was remediation of flammable facades. So it was post-Grenfell. And initially it was like the very investigative work of finding solutions. And that took a lot of research. Now there's a lot of products for it because of the need. But at the start, that was, so many data sheets and things like that, and speaking to people, and we'd get fire tests done on the materials to see how long they would take to burn.
You've seen it glazing over, can't you?
Sorry.
No, but
it was a really technical role.
Like, wow, that is so, like head hurting stuff.
Yeah. But then after you've done a few of them, it's probably got the same cladding, the same other problems. So then you got the same solutions. In terms of the creativity there, that was challenging, but I think what I took the most was making sure people would go to sleep safe. And that was the thing I probably took the most. Yeah.
That is true, especially after Grenfell.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that impacted like stuff still like today? It's just the legislation and everything. It's much easier now, so products will suit it.
Oh, this is so how it actually happened is way back, architects had full control of the design, the build, the materials, everything. And then slowly it's become, I don't think watered down is the right word. Architects are hugely talented, but it has become that for different parts of their role, other people now do. And then come stage 3, someone else builds it. And it's that part where they finish their design. They've specified everything that works. They've done the research. When it goes to the next people that are then still working with the client's best interests, but potentially lost this middleman. Yes, they'll be design guardians, but if they're consulted as much as they need to, they're probably not. 10 years later, are they consulted? Definitely not. Mm-hmm. And it just meant with value engineering and costs that contractors were putting in cheaper materials that are the same, but they're actually not the same. Mm. And over time that happens. And I think that's the perk of design and build actually, is that it's almost like how architecture used to be. We have full control over what we design and what we build and the material spec. Mm. Yeah.
And responsibilities, I think.
Exactly.
So when it happens, it is that company, even if it's not one person, it's still that company.
Yeah.
So it's quite, I get that. Yeah, that's quite valid. Valid for a client looking at a space for one content to go back to.
Yeah, definitely.
No, that's cool. Anything else about that project that we need to keep an eye out for you, Leadenhall?
40 let? No. No.
Exceptional nature and just keep our eyes peeled.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, wicked.
And the bar area.
Oh,
But it's a mirror of the reception. So it's something like design continuity.
yeah. Same sort of language going.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Right, so what's your wildest dream?
Wildest dream.
Yeah, what's a project like your wildest dream?
Okay. I actually think about this all the time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, this is going to be fun.
So I always love a project that's got a strong brand or a strong concept.
So if you're designing an office, it's got a strong brand and concept. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think for me, like Barbie Dream House is definitely the one. That one would excite me a lot.
Because of the brand.
Because of the brand and the concept and how what does Barbie look like today? Or what does her house look like? How does she live? And things like that.
So would you go rogue with Barbie or go OG?
I don't think I would go too rogue, but I would develop her for this year and make her current.
You develop
Yeah.
her, she. Yeah.
Yeah. No, her, she, definitely.
Yeah.
And then I think I would do like that soft living girl era, like subtle luxuries, but in the Cotswolds, something like that.
Would she work?
Yeah, she would work.
Because she's modern.
Yeah, she'd have a great work-life balance. She doesn't need to be like crazy successful or anything like that. It's just she's fulfilled in her role and she enjoys it, and yeah, always has a bit of time.
Would you have 10 featuring at all?
I actually hadn't considered Ken at all.
I wish she hadn't.
I mean, in the Cotswolds, she can have her beautiful house, her greenhouse, all of those things. And I don't know, men love like a man cave, don't they? Yeah. So if we keep it current, he can have a shed in the garden.
Well, she's got a mansion.
Yeah. Or maybe he can be a farmer next door.
Yeah. They're fairly insignificant either way.
Yeah. I wasn't going to focus on that part.
And still pink? Are you going to change it up?
I think it would be a more muted colour palette.
Oh, cool.
But there would be cues of pink. Maybe pink not in the build, but in the accessories.
Yeah.
So like peonies everywhere, pink, like flowers, pink flowers.
I thought you said ponies, but you said...
Oh, no.
You said peonies.
Pink pony, yes. Yeah, pink flowers. And or like maybe like a very muted, like in the cushions, anything that could be swapped out.
Yeah.
If you wanted it to be.
But the base would be neutrals.
Yeah, really neutral.
That's cool.
Yeah, focus on the view. And then you've got more pink flowers outside. So, yeah.
So not glam.
Not glam, but all of the subtle, innovative, glamorous bits.
Yeah. That's cool. Does she cook?
Definitely.
Your Barbie cooks?
Yeah, she cooks. Yeah, she'll go to the farmer's market at the weekends.
Oh, I see. So that's quite
she
cool.
lives the Cotswolds
She's
lifestyle.
a little bit country, yeah.
Yeah, a little bit country, yeah.
And she rollerblade?
Oh, can she rollerblade? Yeah. She can ice skate, she can horse ride. Yeah, I feel like horse riding is probably more appropriate for the area. But yeah, she can do everything. She's sporty. She does her Pilates in the morning.
What's her Pilates studio look like?
I don't know, maybe in the greenhouse or on like a terrace outside. Or she can have an indoor Pilates studio.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah, or three.
Yeah.
Yeah. It will be at home though.
Yeah, she wouldn't go anywhere.
No.
I wish you actually...
All the home comforts.
Yeah.
I think I'm just designing my dream home. Yeah. I think that's what it is.
Yeah, would you be a Cotswold or would you miss the city?
Oh, I don't think I'd miss this. I would miss it right now, but give it like 5 years, I'd probably miss it.
You'd be fine.
Yeah, I'd be absolutely fine.
So you'll get to Cotswold?
Yeah, or somewhere like countryside or by the water, connect with nature, long walks.
You like that sort of thing?
I love it. Yeah.
So would you have a home gym or go to a gym?
Home gym. I have a phobia of the gym.
Do you go to a gym?
I do. So there's one in my building, but it's very small.
Yeah.
But if there's more than 2-3 people in there, I'm like, no, I'm going out. But it's not the people that intimidate me. It's the machines.
Okay. So what machines?
Dumbbells, exclusively.
Well, it's fun. Why I'm asking these questions actually because I can't go to a gym.
Yeah.
I just have this, I can like smell ego and I can like feel ego, and it makes me very uncomfortable.
Yeah,
So I have it all at home.
I like that.
And I'm actually just getting boxing training at the moment. And so I have to go to a gym to get boxing training. And and I just feel so like a fish out of water.
Yeah.
Something about a gym.
I think you're meant, like people tell me, you're just meant to just walk in there, knock it, do your thing, get in, get out. But I don't feel that. I feel like I worry about like what I'm wearing or how I look when I'm doing the exercises. If I'm doing it wrong, if people more experienced are looking at me, I just can't lose that feeling. So no, when I do go, it's like big baggy hoodie, hat, headphones, like I'm unrecognizable.
That's an idea.
Yeah.
Just
really
like, like a duvet. I was like,
yeah.
yeah, fair enough. So you mostly would gym at home?
Yeah, but I would run just so I'm not at the gym and then finish up with like a quick 20-minute workout. Yeah.
Fair enough. Oh, well, that's cool though.
Yeah.
It's funny. Have you been to Gym Box?
No.
It's like a really different.
Is it scary?
we're getting totally off.
That's okay.
But it's cool.
It's their branding, I think, that scares me. 'Cause it's very
really?
industrial with the neon lights outside. There's one at our office that I see and I'm like,
Well, they're saying is working out should be like going out. That's their saying. Mm-hmm. And so it's actually like going to a club.
okay.
And so they have like DJs and like,
That's quite cool.
And so, yeah, it is actually really cool.
Yeah.
It is really, really cool. I just can't get away from like all these people that are like 6 times the size of me. And I'm just like, oh, like,
I think if it's darker and bright lights, that would help. The only thing I'd be like, this music is great, but I'm drinking my water. Like, I now want to go get a gin and tonic. I've done my workout. Now I want to go out, have a quick shower, and do anyone want to go grab a drink?
At 6 a.m., 7 a.m.
Oh, God. Oh, I couldn't start my day like that.
Oh, you can't?
That would be, no, it'd have to be much slower.
So you work out at the end of the day?
Yeah, yoga or Pilates, something more peaceful.
Oh, okay. No, I'm literally heavy in the morning.
But could you do like a rave that early?
I don't know. I don't go partying that early, but I go to the gym that early.
But like a gym rave? Is that what it's like? No.
Well, I do it in my garage.
That's true.
But yeah, I do it first thing. I wake up and just trot downstairs into the gym.
No, I'm evening. I used to swim competitively. And that was, the training was 5:30 till 7:30 every morning. I used to train like 8 times a week, twice on a Wednesday. And to jump in a freezing cold pool at 5:30 for my whole childhood, I'm just, no. I don't want to work out early. Definitely not.
Oh, fair enough. To be honest, I do think I'm quite unusual working out early, but then just like I say, going to gym boxing training, I'd see a lot of people there early. I'm like, wow. I
think it does set you up for the day.
Yeah, it's quite cool.
Yeah, I think that's one strong benefit. And then it's done as well. You don't have to think about it when you get home.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm too tired when I get home. Would you want to be a design director ever? I've asked you that.
Yeah, I think I see my career developing in so many different ways.
Yeah.
I know at heart I'm a creative.
Yeah.
So I think as long as I'm always learning creatively, I don't think it necessarily needs to be learning creatively on the software, but like creative concepts or like it could still be, I would love interiors, definitely, but like fashion or photography, just anything that makes me feel like creative and solving a problem, anything aesthetic.
Have you done photography then?
No, nothing more than typical, really.
Yeah.
But fashion I love. So, yeah.
Is the industry a bit rubbish though?
To fashion?
Yeah, it's like quite a sort of egotistical industry.
It probably is. Yeah. And I know starting out to get opportunities is not impossible, but if you want to get paid and have an opportunity, I don't know how well those two things work hand in hand. I think it's the same for interiors though. When you're starting out, you think, how on earth do I even get into this? The same way I went like architecture, contractor side, and then D&B. It's like I've done so many different routes. Mm-hmm. When I graduated, I didn't even know design and build was an industry. Yeah. So there'd still be so much to learn.
There's probably like a fashion sector of fashion that I didn't even know exists.
Yeah,
and hybrid. I love fashion. I would love to do. I'd love to do like like when you're styling people. That's what it's
Yeah, one of my friends does that and she loves it. Does men's styling, and she's so talented. But what she's made really cool is she styles them, but then she could almost wear their clothes and look better, even though it's all men's clothing. Her street style is incredible. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, really, really cool.
Something to get into.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm edgy enough for that, but I can appreciate it and she looks great.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not modern enough. I'm not young enough.
That's not true. No.
Oh, yeah, that's so interesting. How long have you been in D&B then?
In D&B, just over 3 years. No.
Time flies, isn't it?
It does, but 3 years at the same time isn't a huge amount of time, really.
It's all post-COVID though.
All post-COVID, yes. But when I actually started out in Workplace, I had done it pre-COVID.
Yeah.
Where I feel like I learned the majority of what I still know today.
Yeah.
But I think what was most interesting is the things I learned then are accurate to today. So it was almost like I fast-tracked learned them or would taught them before the industry almost caught on. It's taken a delay to come from architects through to design and build slightly. I would say that D&B are experts in workplace design, but as I can see the concepts coming through, and then I'm like, guys, I've been telling you this for ages.
Because you've been in D&B.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then as well through D&B, I've gone to 3 different design and build practices. 2 are under the same umbrella. But I think I'm just always curious to learn. I've been able to take all the best things and learn the best things and keep moving forward. As soon as I feel like I've learned everything I can in one place, I start thinking, I just have to stay creative.
Actually, that was something that you are really good at, and I wanted to ask you about was D&B is messy, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a messy industry, like in the sense of, I don't know, you don't really get enough time to
true.
to build your concepts out and to actually truly understand the brand, deeply understand the brand, then design for them and actually develop something like really meaningful and like really heartfelt. Like you're just not given enough time.
No, I think that's one of the biggest challenges. You have so many people involved, client side, that they hire that almost manage us setting the deadlines and keeping the client at arm's length from us. And it's the biggest challenge because we can dive into the branding as much as we possibly can from the material that they portray. So whether they use social media, their websites, and just anything we can get our hands on, or knowing typically how that sort of industry works. But the most valuable thing is speaking to the client and developing it with them and asking really key fundamental questions, because it's like if I was to look at your Instagram and then someone says, I need to design your house based off of your Instagram, but I've never spoken to you. I can travel through years and years and think I understand you based off of your Instagram, but then I can speak to you. But your lifestyle's changed since some of the stuff I've seen or the styles that you've worn. Do you know what I mean? It's a bit like that. And as well, branding that companies put out is for a client. I don't get a huge insight to how they actually work day to day. And that's where the problem solving is. And if I'm not made aware of what those problems are, I'm working off of assumptions and I can either hit the nail on the head or miss it completely because I'm not aware of their problems. You know, I answer a brief of, we need 160 desks, 5 front of house meeting rooms, 5 back of house meeting rooms, 3 collaboration points. And it's like, well, what are your front of house meeting rooms for? Obviously for clients, but what sort of clients? How do those meetings go? Is it someone presenting? Is it a big discussion around a table? How often do they happen? Back of house is, well, these meetings, are you jumping on a call? Is it internal meetings only? How do those meeting rooms look? Do they need to be formal? Do they need to be a hybrid between formal and informal? If that's the case, why don't they not be a meeting room and be a collaboration space? And then what does your collaboration space look like? Is it a configuration of soft seating? Boring. Is it a configuration of high tables or low tables? Also boring. But if we actually think, oh, when you collaborate, you do it this way, so our solution would be this, it makes a lot of sense. So a good example is in a boardroom or a posh meeting room, anyone senior, they're used to it. They're pretty comfortable speaking in there in a room full of people. Anyone more junior, especially if they're a young company, anyone more junior may feel uncomfortable to speak because they may feel inexperienced, they may be nervous, they may not be fully confident in what they're saying. So those meetings maybe aren't the most effective for them. But then if you think about the more informal places or collaboration, if you make it more comfortable, like inspired from a tea point, and you go there and you have your cup of tea and you just chat, and maybe there's no laptops and just pieces of paper, those more junior people are going to probably associate that to not realizing it, but being at home around their dining table, coffee table, and feeling comfortable enough to say something. And it could be wrong, but sometimes they're the best ideas. Yeah. So it's making sure that we're thinking of solutions that nurture all of the talent, ultimately to make everyone more productive and make more money. Yeah. And it's those things that we assume sometimes. And that's the most challenging part.
Yeah, well, as you're talking, I'm thinking two things. Like, one is company culture. It's really hard to, I mean, I know everybody knows what company culture is, but like how to really tangibly like dig into that, explain that, and like pick that to parts. But how do you want people to meet? Is it very fun? Is it very carefree, or is it like more structured, or whatever it is? But it's actually, I was going to say reading, but I don't read any books. I listen to books. I'm listening to a book by Kim Scott, The Radical Candle. Super, actually recommend it to anyone that like wants to, listen about like sort of communication, basically, like direct communication. And she was talking about like getting the best out of people, being a kick-ass boss is her thing. And she says about exactly that, like the posh boardroom, you get a certain people talking, but then, and to have that meeting, to hear from those people, but then to take out another meeting and go to a workshop environment and with the more juniors where they feel that they can bounce out ideas and like really openly challenge each other. And it's more like people peer to peer, and that people then the best ideas get thrashed out.
Definitely.
And then bring them together. And it's so, it's just it's not like, wow, that's changed the world, but at the same time it's easier to forget that. It's easier to forget it. It's not like it's totally game changing, like no one's ever said that before, but at the same time, like who's doing that? Like who's actually
asking those questions?
Yeah.
It will be typically someone that doesn't work in design, where just the agent for the client, and they want control over often they want control over the process. You go to your pitch and you have a score sheet. Yeah. And you have your agenda of how you should set things up, but it may not fit into the flow of how we've designed. And then our story can become harder to follow. Sometimes you say, we just have to do it this way. But when you're against a scoring sheet, if you're not careful, if the agent can't follow it along, and then they want to be able to just basically present scores to the client to help them make the decision. But yeah, that's the biggest thing. We constantly need to challenge the agents to give us more client time. And often it will come with a bit of a disclaimer of whatever you ask, we're going to let everyone else know that's pitching for the job. And it's like, great. Like, okay, this information has come from us. The client will probably know it's come from us from the mid-bid. And if we're a step ahead, or if they do the same thing and we then get more information as well, it helps everyone out that's trying to pitch and win the job. At the end of the day, I really hope everyone pitching on projects genuinely wants to create the best office for the client.
I do think, though, that it should be weighted to the people that are asking the questions, because if someone can't be bothered or hasn't thought to ask the question, I'm a bit worried about them. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So if you're going in there and you're like, I want more time, I need to know this, I need to know that, I need to know the third thing. Okay, share the information, like yes or no, like fair enough. I don't know what I think about that, but really that's your information because you bothered to find out.
It's our design integrity as well. Yeah. Like if we're sharing our plans or all of our concepts, Yeah.
And you as a designer have been bothered to think about that. So it's kind of like you should almost have one up.
And it's part of the process, and it's how you should win a pitch. And if you're on the money and they're answering your questions and you're able to develop, it's great. And it is design integrity, and a lot of people are funny whether we should share it or not. But you also have to think you need to maintain a relationship with the agent as well. So if we then start being too difficult, it's hard. Our hands are constantly tied to what we've been told.
If you could change design and build, what would you do? You'd just change the whole industry.
Focus on the design, not just the build.
And what does that look like?
It means it's really challenging because there's so many people, but the initial stages we need to focus on the design and the design only. There needs to be trust that when it comes to the mechanical and subbies drawings and things like that, we do this day in, day out. We can do that. I understand we need to prove ourselves and provide for them to trust us. Mm-hmm. But that first part, because it's so compressed, really needs to be design-led, design-focused, initially conceptual until you're able to create something. And as much of that to be client-facing as possible. Initially start off with workshops. We go away. We then digest that information. I don't love the idea of presenting unfinished work, but I think through that process, because it's so short, I think you have to. And if it allows the client to feel like they've had their design input as well, great, because they work their day in, day out. Although I design offices day in, day out, I can't fully understand their culture without working there. I can only take what they've said. So I think initially, primarily design focused. And then as soon as that bit is over, hand it over to get everything costed and go from there. I know it's challenging because you're designing, if their budget is £3 million and then oops, through the design we've spent 6, then we have to value engineer. But I also then do think there's a way that you can value engineer without compromising the design. I think there's smarter ways. But at the end of the day, if you're asking people to design you an office in 2 to 4 weeks, it's really hard without working crazy hours to make an office that's actually going to be functional and change. And these people are investing a lot of money. If it's a new office, if they're fitting out their existing space, they've got to pay for everything. They've got to think about the hassle if they need everyone to work from home for the build time. So I think it's a shame that clients don't necessarily always appreciate, or maybe they're advised that this is normal. But I think the design stage, if it can't be made longer, it needs to be design focused, not have all the other parties involved in the mix. Key decision makers so that things can move forward, design workshops, and then get it costed, not a constant battle.
So you say you're having to work really long hours when you're on a pitch. At what sort of time would you be getting home?
I think it varies on how many projects you're on, the company that you work at, the resources that you have, or the biggest one is the design challenges that you personally face. I always call it like I'm gone space plan blind. And it's where I've looked at this one space plan for so long that I can't see any other options, or I can't see my mistakes. And it's almost like I need to switch off for a bit and come back to it. And then I go in the next day and I think, why did I do that? And it's because I've gone spaceman blind. So sometimes it's a personal thing of just the creative journey you personally need to go on. But the real answer, long hours, definitely long hours. Yeah, if you're working on a pitch, you're going to be pulling some shifts.
And how long should the design process be in the ideal world?
Ideal world.
Yeah. I know you're going to say project by project basis, but if just a rule of thumb.
I think, oh my God, 3 months would be incredible. The only risk is before you've won a project, you're working unpaid. So in terms of companies in D&B, why would they want to do that? That's 3 months unpaid work. But if there could be more of that high, I don't know how it would work financially, because there's no way the client is going to be paying 3 different D&B companies to design it out for that long. But I think 3 months we could provide some really effective solutions and do some real research, not just on the brand, but other concepts and ideas of what a workspace should look like. And yeah, that would be great.
So maybe like if the client chose the company they're going with based on case studies and brand.
Or meeting us. It's all a people thing.
Yeah, without you actually doing any design work. And then they paid you like for 3 months out to do the design work. So it's not free.
It would
because
be a game
then
changer.
they get a different, it's a little bit like trad.
Yes.
But then the build with you as well. But instead of just winning the design project like trad do, you're going to win the whole project.
Yeah.
That's what the world needs to do.
That would be incredible.
That's ginger.
But you know as well, architecture, some of the leading architecture practices are like 70% margins. And that's the same margin as like art. And that's because architecture is an art. Mm-hmm. Why in design and build should our art as a designer be different or feel cheap because it's not come at a cost? There's design fees once you win, but it's never going to cover the actual, design would be working at a loss.
Do you think there needs to almost be like a brand in design and build like there is in architecture though? Because like Gensler, there is like Gensler or Zaha Hadid. Like, it's just like you want them regardless of what they cost. If that's what you want, that's where you go. It's kind of if you want an iPhone, I'm really sorry, but like Samsung don't sell iPhones. It just is what it is and you pay what you pay. Do D&B need that?
I think that would be an absolute game changer. Although it's a big market, it's also a very small market. Most of the people that work at one have worked at others, and people tend to jump from one to the other. So I think in terms of ideas and experience, there's not that like what's next, and everyone almost feels too nervous to do something brand-wise of their own personal brand that is unique or out of water. I genuinely think once the first person creates that, all of the other D&B places will. It's just that first person to make the leap. And it's true, you can work with some huge clients, like real household names, and design and build will be screaming, we work with them. But then you think, wait, we've worked with them, but are they going to post or say, oh yeah, we worked with you? And that's the bit that needs to change, because the second they were working with like Zaha, Fawcett and Partners, they would be screaming as well. And I think if we really hone in on our art and our brands
as a
company, that would be incredible. Yeah, it would be challenging because no one has done it, or if they have, they've tried. But I think that would be.
Yeah, I can see that almost. Like we value our employees so much. We hired X, Y, and Z design and build company to like manage our office.
Yeah.
Like we literally just think so much of our people, or our people do the best work so our clients get the best service. So we went with this brand. Like it's almost like we give people iPhones because we care about them, or we give people Macs because they're, it's like that same kind of mentality. Yeah. You're almost proud to do it, aren't you? You're not quiet about it.
Yeah. And then from the get-go, you have the trust that, they're who they are, they're going to create a great product. It's not uncertainty. Yeah. Not a salesy. It's built of trust. That would be incredible.
Yeah, no, that's wicked. But I'm going to wrap it up. I'm going to ask you a last question now.
Okay, I'm excited.
What is your... Sorry?
I'm excited.
Ready? What is a favourite book or podcast that you listen to that everyone should be listening to?
Okay, I'm going to do podcast.
Yeah.
It's a new one, or new-ish. Yeah. Rochelle Humes just launched Ladies Who Launch. So it's women that have created, at the moment, incredible businesses. So Jo Malone's been on there, Connor Walker, House of CB. But now she's going to start doing podcasts with small businesses to see if she can connect people. And they're really interesting conversations, like an hour long each one. I just fit it in when I do my run.
You're okay.
Yeah.
I don't listen to podcasts.
Really
strange. I know. It's really strange, isn't it? But it's true. It just is what it is.
Give one of those ones a listen. See what you think.
Maybe I will. That's cool. I love businessy things.
Yeah.
Books and stuff. So yeah. Wicked. Well, thank you so much, Abby. You've been absolutely wicked.
I've
So
loved it.
interesting.
Thank you.
I'm quite excited to see the Barbie house come to pass.
I might have to get it rendered up.
Yeah. Leadenhall sounds amazing as well. So that's cool. I'd love to change the D&B world. That's totally a big gap waiting to happen for a brand to lead there. And yeah, amazing chat. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.